tuned into when I was about 27, but I didn't really realize that what was happening. And when I was 27, I made the decision to really cut myself off from all distractions and really focus on one goal. And it was during that time where I realized I didn't really put too much time and energy or focus on my own needs because I was really focused on the needs of other people, whether it's my friends, my family, or people in the music community that I was building at the time. I was constantly giving away my time and energy and never made time for myself. And when I really sat down and thought about it, I thought, well, how could I achieve any goals that I desire if I'm constantly putting out my energy elsewhere? And that's when I made the decision to just drop everything, drop all of my commitments, and solely focus on working and saving money. And within a year, I was able to pay off all my debts, move out of my parents' house, and then eventually save enough money to move across the country. And I would say that's like in the period of time where I was focused on self care the most, and created a very tangible result related to money and like wealth creation. And I think it's very important to focus on self care because it's so easy to not focus on our own goals and dreams. Um, Especially for me, like I'm a people pleaser, so I like to go out and get validation from other people, and that's definitely something I'm working on, and just giving validation to myself so I don't need that. But that is part of my self-care practice, and that's a source where I'm getting validation these days, is getting the satisfaction of knowing that my needs are being met because I care enough to do something about it, and I'm willing to do what is needed to make sure all my physical, mental, and emotional needs are met. And it is the brainchild of what is the creation of music medicine. I essentially focused all my attention and energy into caring about myself, and thought, wow, these are really great tools of movement and meditation and writing, and sacred geometry means a lot to me, and it really helps me. Why don't I combine all those together into this offering of music medicine? And that's not to say people will walk into this class and feel the same way about these practices. And I think it would be a great opportunity to have people exposed to different things that would equal self-care, but not necessarily attach themselves to that particular thing. And if it doesn't resonate and vibe, that's great too, because now people will know what they don't enjoy, and they could shift their focus and attention to something that will really nourish them as an individual. And it's something that I've become insanely passionate about, right, in this particular moment in my life, because I look around and I feel there's a lot of people out there that are not balanced physically, mentally, emotionally, or maybe all three combined. And I think self care has a big part to do with it. I think we're conditioned to look outside of ourselves to try and fix the problems inside, but I think a large part of any challenges that arise in our lives comes from the internal experience first. And I think that's what conscious dance, or um, just movement practices really help people with, is identifying, in a physical sense anyways, just like what feels good in my body and follow that instinct. And it's very rare people will have an opportunity to be in an environment or container where they're not exposed to the influence of fulfilling a role of a parent or an employee or a friend, or whatever label that we could attach ourselves to, and have those labels affect our activities and shift our focus away from our own well-being. There's this metaphor of, if you're on an airplane that's crashing and the gas mask come down, you got to put your own mask first before you help anybody else. And a lot of people have heard this metaphor, and yet a lot of people still struggle with, it's easier for them to take care of other people than it is to take care of themselves. And I can relate to that, because there's this thing about, if I help others, then they will reciprocate and take care of me. And then there's this unspoken agreement, and when that doesn't happen, then there's a sense of resentment. and I've definitely been in those situations, and it's very frustrating. But at the same time, I can't be mad at other people because that's an unspoken agreement that I made with myself and other people, but other people don't know about it. So I just ended up, getting the short end of this agreement that nobody else agreed to. And I think a lot of people experience that too, especially people who are very empathetic and people who are very um, extroverted. That's the word I'm looking for. Extroverted. Like they're really outgoing, and they really strive around being around other people and making sure other people are happy. And I think the best way to create that is to be centered and balanced within oneself first, and allow that energy to carry from the internal into the external, and it just happens organically. And yeah, there doesn't become this codependent or this reliant on anyone else having to behave a certain way or respond a certain way to satisfy my own personal needs. And I think that's a really great way to go about it. And I think in terms of, because I'm in a journey of shifting my beliefs and um, just the way I think about money and wealth creation. And I think at the end of the day, money is just energy that represents time and effort. And if I invest that time and effort into myself, then it's going to open a channel to receive bigger and better things. And it may come in the form of money, or it may not come in the form of people doing, or other forms like people doing favors, or people are offering like their services or their time and their attention. And the abundance is first created within myself, because that's where my power lies. So yeah, I hope you got something out of this video, and if you did and you want to have a further chat about wealth creation and self-care practices or music and movement, all these things that I'm currently jiving with, feel free to reach out on Facebook or drop an email in the description below. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you soon.